I love my son's best friend. In the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, where maple trees arched like protective arms over picket-fenced lawns, lived Sophia Bennett, a woman whose life had been stitched together with quiet resilience. At 42, she was a high school English teacher, her days filled with the rhythm of chalk dust and adolescent dreams, her evenings with the soft chaos of single motherhood. Her husband had left 5 years ago, chasing a fleeting career in the city lights, leaving behind a void that Sophia filled with lesson plans and lavender-scented candles. Her son Alex was her anchor, 18 now, lanky and earnest, with his father's blue eyes and a laugh that could chase away storms. He was her everything, the boy who'd once built forts from couch cushions and now navigated the turbulent waters of college applications. It was Alex who brought Liam into their world. Liam Harper, his best friend since freshman year, was the kind of young man who seemed to carry summer in his veins. At 19, he was a community college student studying environmental science, with sun-kissed skin from weekend hikes, tousled auburn hair that fell just so over hazel eyes that held stories of quiet observation. Liam had grown up in a fractured home, absent father, overworked mother, and Alex's house became his refuge, a place of home-cooked lasagnas and late-night video game marathons. Sophia noticed him at first as a polite shadow, the way he'd clear the table without being asked, or linger in the kitchen asking about her day with a sincerity that made her pause mid-stir. The shift happened on a rainy Saturday in early spring, the kind of downpour that turned the world into a watercolor blur. Alex had dragged Liam over for a study session that devolved into pizza and playlists. Sophia, grading papers in the living room, overheard their banter, Alex's boisterous energy clashing with Liam's thoughtful pauses. When thunder rattled the windows, the power flickered out, plunging the house into candlelit intimacy. "Mom, tell us one of your ghost stories," Alex teased, sprawling on the rug. But it was Liam who leaned forward, elbows on knees, his gaze locking onto hers with an intensity that stole her breath. "I'd rather hear about the real ones," he said softly. "The ones that shaped you." She hesitated, the room's warmth wrapping around her like an old quilt. What harm in a story? She spoke of her grandmother's migration from Italy, the salt-tanged voyages and starlit promises, her voice weaving through the dim light. Liam listened, not like the boys his age with half-tuned ears, but as if her words were lifelines. When she finished, the rain had softened to a whisper, and Alex was dozing against the couch. Liam stayed behind to help tidy, his hands brushing hers as they stacked plates. In that fleeting contact, electricity hummed, a forbidden current that made her cheeks flush. "You make the past feel alive," he murmured, eyes tracing her face in the candle's glow. Sophia pulled away, heart pounding, mumbling something about chamomile tea. But as he left, jacket zipped against the drizzle, she watched from the window, the porch light haloing him like a secret. From there, the pull grew, insidious and sweet, like honey seeping into cracks. Liam started coming over more, under the guise of Alex's company. Movie nights where he'd quote lines from her favorite films, quoting Before Sunrise with a wistful smile that mirrored her own hidden longings. Sophia found excuses to linger, baking chocolate chip cookies that filled the air with vanilla warmth, her laughter freer in his presence. He noticed the small things, the way she tucked a stray curl behind her ear when nervous, the faint scar on her knuckle from a childhood fall. "You're like a poem," he confessed one afternoon in the backyard, as they weeded the garden while Alex napped inside. The sun dappled through budding leaves, birdsong a gentle underscore. Layered, beautiful, underrated. Her heart stuttered. "Liam, I'm old enough to be." She trailed off, the words a barrier she both needed and resented. He stepped closer, dirt-streaked hands gentle on hers. "Age is just a number, Sophia. It's the soul that counts." The kiss that followed was tentative, born of pent-up ache. His lips soft against hers, tasting of earth and possibility. She melted into it, hands rising to cup his face, the world narrowing to the press of his body, warm and insistent. When they parted, gasping, tears pricked her eyes. Not from guilt, but from the terror of joy after so long in drought. "This can't happen," she whispered, even as she pulled him back, their foreheads touching in silent vow. The romance unfolded in stolen fragments, each one a brushstroke on a canvas of longing. Whispered calls after midnight. His voice a low rumble sharing dreams of rewilding urban lots. Her confessions of unpublished short stories tucked in nightstand drawers. Picnics in the woods behind her house, where they'd lie on a checkered blanket, fingers intertwined, watching clouds morph into impossible shapes. "Tell me what you see," he'd say, and she'd describe lovers dancing on cirrus waves. His chuckle vibrating through her. Intimacy deepened in the quiet hours. His head in her lap as she read poetry aloud. Shelley's odes making his eyes shine with unspoken promises. Lovemaking came later, in the hush of her bedroom one humid July night, Alex away at camp. It was reverent, exploratory. His hands mapping her curves with awe, her sighs mingling with the fan's lazy whirl. In his arms, Sophia felt reborn, desired not despite her lines and laugh lines, but because of them. "I love you," he breathed against her skin, the words a balm to scars she thought permanent. "All of you." Yet love's bloom invited thorns. Challenges sharpened like autumn's edge. Guilt gnawed at Sophia. How could she betray Alex's trust, weave passion from the fabric of his friendship? Whispers from neighbors, catching glimpses of Liam's car too often at odd hours, fueled her paranoia. "People will talk," she fretted one evening, pacing the kitchen as rain lashed the panes. Liam pulled her into an embrace, his scent of pine and soap grounding her. "Let them. This is ours." But the real tempest brewed within. Her fear of outliving him, of dimming his youth with her baggage. "I'm broken goods," she admitted tearfully during a hike, leaves crunching underfoot like fragile resolves. He stopped, turning her to face the valley's vastness. "You're a masterpiece, Sophia." Cracks and all, they let the light in. The breaking point arrived in late September, leaves turning crimson like warnings ignored. Alex returned early from a trip, bursting through the door with tales of city adventures, only to freeze at the sight of Liam's jacket draped over the stair banister. Suspicion flickered in his eyes, hardening over days into confrontation. It erupted in the living room, fairy lights twinkling mockingly overhead. "Mom." "With Liam." Alex's voice cracked, betrayal etching lines on his young face. "He's my best friend. How could you?" Sophia's world fractured, tears streaming as she reached for him, words tumbling in apology. "I never meant to hurt you, mi amor. Just happened. Like breathing." Liam stood silent, fists clenched, his loyalty torn between them. The argument raged. Accusations of selfishness, pleas for understanding, the air thick with the salt of shattered illusions. Alex stormed out, slamming the door that echoed like finality. In the aftermath, Sophia unraveled. Nights blurred into sobs on the bathroom floor, the mirror reflecting a woman adrift. Liam stayed, holding her through the tremors, his own heart bruised by the rift he'd helped widen. "We end this," she decided one dawn, voice hollow as she traced his jaw. "For Alex." But as he gathered his things, rain-slicked duffel in hand, anguish clawed at them both. At the threshold, he turned, eyes fierce with love's unyielding fire. "I won't stop fighting for us. For you." His kiss was desperate, a storm of lips and tears, before he vanished into the gray. Weeks stretched like wounds healing crooked. Alex's silence was a chasm, bridged only by terse texts and forced family dinners. Sophia threw herself into work, her lessons on Romeo and Juliet now laced with personal ache, students sensing the tremor in her voice. But Liam persisted. Letters slipped under her door, wildflower bouquets on the porch, each a heartbeat insisting on survival. One crisp October evening, as frost kissed the windows, Alex knocked on her office door at school. "I get it now," he said, voice thick. "Love's messy. But if he makes you happy, just promise it'll be right." Forgiveness bloomed tentative, a fragile truce. Reunion came under harvest moon's silver gaze, in the same woods where it began. Liam waited on their blanket, a thermos of hot cider steaming between them. Sophia ran to him, collapsing into his arms, the embrace a dam breaking. "I love you," she gasped, the words a lifeline. "More than fear." He held her as stars wheeled overhead, their whispers rebuilding what was lost. Plans for a future woven with care. Therapy for Alex, boundaries drawn with love, a life where age was mere backdrop to souls entwined. In Willow Creek's gentle embrace, Sophia learned that love defies timelines, mends what it breaks. With Liam's hand in hers, Alex's tentative smile at dinner, she stepped forward, not flawless but whole. For in loving her son's best friend, she'd found not just romance, but redemption, the courage to claim a heart's quiet roar. Word count: 1,156. If this tale of unexpected passion and tender healing stirred your soul, we'd love for you to subscribe to Evermore Love today. We're on the cusp of 1K subscribers, and your support would mean everything in bringing more enchanting stories to life. Don't forget to watch the full video for every whispered word and heartfelt glance. Your complete view helps us grow. Thank you for journeying with us. Endless beautiful love stories await.